Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents, and welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where in just 2 days, August the 1st, everything that is here on my table is going to be available for purchase, because today we're going to do part 1 of the new catalog tester sniff through sessions. So let's get started. Now what I have done is divided my tester kit into 2 groups. So the first one we're going to do the spice, the bakery, and the woods. So I have printed out sheets of my catalog pages because I managed to actually give away all 25 of my catalogs that came in my kit, and I have more of them on order, so I had to go back to the computer for my own benefit here. So that, I think, is a group that makes sense to talk about all together. And then the second group will talk about the fruity, the fresh, the citrus, and the floral, and whatever the special offers are that have to do with licensed products. So my favorite categories any time of the year are always spice and woods, although in the middle of the summer, obviously, I do enjoy a good amount of my tropicals and my fresh and that sort of thing. But spice and woods are just close to my heart. So we're going to start with the spice page with apple and cinnamon sticks. And Scentsy is going to tell us that apple and cinnamon sticks has apple peel, white pumpkin, and a touch of oak in it. And I would agree, this is a really nice scent for early fall, because it's mostly the apple and the cinnamon, but that little bit of white pumpkin and oak kind of grounds it so that it's not just your cloying apple cinnamon scent that you would get at any Walmart grocery store knockoff wax melt company. So it's very good. It reminds me a little bit of white pumpkin from Bath & Body Works. It's got more apple in it than that, but that is the most similar profile that I know of. Right. The next one is going to be Autumn Hearth. Now, Autumn Hearth is one that has grown on me over time. My younger daughter loves it, so we had it in the house a lot last year. It is really good. But I used to get kind of a funny note from the Tonka bean. So Sensei says that Autumn Hearth is the apple, cinnamon, and Tonka around the fire in the fall. And it is so good. So this is one that I usually start to melt in September, but I am, like I keep saying, such a spice and woodsy girl that the craving strikes. Like today I'm doing Perfect Day and I'm doing some apple s'mores, and I don't have much left because I didn't club it, but a little bit of breakfast in bed is going in my back room, even though I still have anchors and seashells out there. I don't care. I just needed some fall bakery. So those are both very, very nice. Then we have Autumn Sunset. Now, this, I think, is one of the most strong and long-lasting bars Scentsy has ever produced. I love it. It is definitely an original. They've had it for forever. I think this thing will go 3 days in my warmers beautifully. You could even get a little bit of the spice on day 4. And this, Scentsy says, is apples, pumpkins, fall leaves, and spices, a top 10 fragrance. And I don't know what to tell you about this, except I get a little bit of like pomegranate or really dark juicy berry along with all the rest of that. It's dark and warm and rich, and oddly enough, I typically melt this in August more than later on in the year. I don't know what it is about me. It's very, very strange. It's a craving where I just want to smell this super saturated spice scent. And I don't pick up any distinct pumpkin note. I just get this wonderful, really rich, spicy fall smell. Okay, the next one is our new Blackberry Spice, and this I melted yesterday, and I would melt this any time of the year, but I am a spice person. I don't find this to be like crazy fall specific. I mean, it certainly leans fall winter because it's got the cedar, it's got the blackberry, but it has, I think, plum and blueberry or apple and blueberry in it too, so it's a little bit lighter than you think it's going to be. Blackberry, cedarwood, and clove. And it's more than that. It's got so much stuff going on in it. It's fantastic, and I absolutely love this. It's a good full day. I don't find it to last as long as some of the more classic spice scents, though. And when I get back from vacation, which is going to be next week, I'm getting out all of my farm stuff. So I cannot wait. We're going to get rid of all the rest of the seashells and all that kind of thing and really turn a page to chickens and sunflowers and plaid and all those other things. No pumpkins yet, I promise, but I cannot wait. Anyway, so I have this set of 4 where I've got a rooster, a chicken, another spotted chicken, and this cute little duck. I love those mugs. All right, now next we have Christmas Cottage. This is such a good classic, and this has been around for forever. When they retired Cozy Fireside last year, I was kind of nervous that they might pull this one this year, and I'm so glad that they did not because so many people love this. So this is Valencia Orange, Raspberry, Clove, and Spices. So if you want a late fall into Christmas, warm in the house smell, but it isn't quite the spice on steroids that some of us are addicted to, this is really good because the raspberry and the orange slightly mellows out the spices so that they are there, but they are not overly aggressive. If you are spice shy, but you want one of those warm, cozy, Christmassy, nostalgic scents, that might be the best one that we have right now. All right, Cider Mill. Now, Cider Mill, I think, should get the award for the best all-around fall bar that we produce. It is so good. It is smooth. It has just a hint of spice. I have one customer who happens to be my hairdresser who is totally spice averse, so for her this was too much spice. To me, I can barely tell there's any spice in this. Even when I melt it, it's like all beautiful pumpkin and apple. So this is what Scentsy says. Bring together fresh apples, crushed pumpkin, and simmering spices for a cozy autumn treat. It is smooth. It is delicious. It is perfection. If they ever did seasonal bricks that were classics in the catalog, which typically they don't for fall. They'll usually throw something in around Christmas time that maybe we've had before every few years, but I wish you could get Cider Mill in a brick. It would be wonderful. All right. Bestseller, they say, is Cinnamon Bear. Now, I love Cinnamon Bear. I know that my friend Melissa Height loves Cinnamon Bear, but I don't think that there are that many other people in my association who do. Let's find it. Oh, Cinnamon Bear, how I love thee. All rich, wonderful cinnamon. And Scentsy says, crisp, spicy cinnamon with a touch of cloves. Now, my favorite cinnamon scents usually have a bergamot undertone. Like there is, I forgot the name of it, but there's a beautiful, just classic cinnamon candle. I think it's just called Holiday, that Bath & Body Works would produce that is a little bit more like a fireball than this one. But it had this little bit of bergamot on the bottom, and I love that scent. And this one is just as smooth, so who knows what else they put in this that they don't tell us about. It's a very, very good classic cinnamon scent. I tend to melt that one most in the winter. Not that I don't do it other times of the year, but I don't reach for it as much in the fall. I reach for it like Christmas and then after, and I love to mix that with around the campfire to get like a winter hearth scent. Okay, clove and cinnamon. Now this one I always club because it is my favorite hardcore spice scent. Where did it go? Clove and cinnamon. The thing is, you sort all this stuff out and then you lose it. Darn it. I don't see my tester for clove and cinnamon, but it is the most rich, wonderful, all clove and then just this pinch of cinnamon. Absolutely hugs your house kind of a scent. I have always fallen in love with that every time I melt it, and it lasts a good 2 to 3 days. It is phenomenal. All right, the next one is Dancing Sugar Plums. And that one, this I would almost put in the fruit category because it's apple, it's plum, it's spices. It's really nice. Now, calling it Dancing Sugar Plums, it makes you feel like it should be Christmassy. I just kind of feel like it's just a general fall winter scent. It is very, very nice. Okay, Farm Stand Pumpkin. Now, why this one's in the spice category, I think is just because it doesn't fit very well anywhere. Because mostly it's just a pumpkin smell, and I love this one. Farm Stand Pumpkin. They say that it's got apple, cinnamon stick, pumpkin, and caramel. And what I get is a nice, like pumpkin hayride, rich pumpkin with depth. And you get caramel, but it isn't like sticky sweet. That's why it's not in the bakery category, I'm sure. So the cinnamon and the caramel honestly sort of knock each other out, like neutralize each other, so that you almost get something that I think more belongs on a pumpkin hayride. I love it. And that one is not the strongest performer, so if you want just a touch of spiciness and a touch of woodiness without it like totally overwhelming your house, that might be the perfect bar. Okay, first day of fall. Now this one is one of my younger daughter's absolute faves, and oh, here it is. Scentsy says that this one has just picked pumpkin, autumn woods, ground nutmeg, and a dash of cinnamon. Now to me, this one has sweet potato in it. It's not there in the notes, but That is what I get on the bottom. Now don't be afraid of that. It isn't like mashed sweet potatoes with the marshmallow topping. It's just, it has this really warm fall scent that reminds me of baking sweet potatoes. So you definitely get the pumpkin, you get the autumn woods, the nutmeg, and the dash of cinnamon. What this one does differently than most of their pumpkin and spice scents is it has that edge. It's almost like woodsy, almost like a potato you just dug out of the ground, a sweet one. It's really, really nice. Is it in my top 10? No. I don't even know if it would make it into my top 20, but I like all the spice scents, so I definitely do melt it, but it tends to be one that I melt less than others personally. All right, Harvest Blessings. Now, this one was new last year, and it is so, so good. And again, I am losing my tester. Where are you? Yeah, well, I don't know where my tester of Harvest Blessings went, but this one is a really nice, almost like Yankee type smell. So it's got the radiant apple, the spiced pumpkin, and the smooth oak. And yes, it has all of that. So this one's not really spice forward. It's more subtle, it's more mellow, but yet it still has richness and depth because of the oak. I think if you, again, want sort of a middle of the road, touch of fall, touch of spice, very harvesty, and it does kind of remind me of Harvest from Yankee. And that, I think, is why I call that one like the Yankee-esque. Of all the ones that we had this year, they're just the most like that old classic profile. Beautiful smell. All right, Maple Apple Bourbon. Now, I love Maple Apple Bourbon. I love it. Oh, it's so good. It's got the apple. It's got the bourbon. It's got this smoothness. It's got this warmth from the maple. Oh, man. And it's like a really good, juicy red apple with all the rest of that with it. So honestly, I wanted to kind of give you a recommendation for what would I say would be good for a first order for like early fall out of this category. Now, if you don't care for maple, this one might not be your bag, but I love Maple Apple Bourbon, and to me, this is a fantastic September scent. It's rich and warm, and it is just delightful. So this one is an absolute winner for me all the time. All right, next we have pumpkin chai. Now, pumpkin chai is phenomenal. This was in a harvest trio a couple years ago. I am so glad that it made its way into the catalog and seems to be staying there. I got a whole bunch of it that's in one of my boxes because for fall and winter, those are like my babies. So I treat them extra special. They have their own boxes where I make sure that I've got at least 5 or 6 of all of them so I can't possibly run out. And that's sort of like my cherished fall and holiday scents. They don't just go in the bins. They go in their own special place. So good. So after all that, what does pumpkin chai smell like? It smells like a chai latte with pumpkin in it, and it is sweet. It's sweeter than cozy chai. So if you get cozy chai and you like it, but it's like just a little bit too much spice, the pumpkin chai is a little smoother. I will say that the first hour of pumpkin chai, sometimes the milk note's a little funky. Just get through it. The rest of it is amazing, and it goes a long time. All right, pumpkin cinnamon swirl. Now, I thought I put this one in bakery, so I gotta chase it down. Pumpkin cinnamon swirl. This is like the crowd pleaser pumpkin scent. How could you not like what is basically a gooey cinnamon roll, like something from Cinnabon or something you pulled out of your own oven that's got pumpkin with it? It's perfect. It is medium to medium strong throw. It's great in your kitchen. It's great anywhere. I would totally gift this unless someone is absolutely, totally against any kind of spice at all. Wonderful smell. You think I like that one, huh? All right, Spiced Ember Glow. Now, out of all the bars that are in this list of spice, this is the one that I have the most trouble with. And I think it's really odd because all the notes are ones I love. But there's something about the blend that I find a little bit harsh. It's got smoked apple, toasted vanilla, and the cinnamon embers. And I think there's clove in here too. And it's the embery note. For me, this one just has a bite that I don't really care for. And all last year I whined about it because I felt like it gave the boot to my cozy fireside, and I'm kind of over it now because so many of you have been so sweet. Now I have a stack of it because y'all mailed me some. Thank you. But I still just don't love this one. Many people do, and actually people that don't like your traditional clove and cinnamon and your cinnamon bear, they like this one. So maybe try it if you are interested in kind of a smoky, appley, and embers smell. All right, and then last but not least is the standard Welcome Home, which is here. And this one is around all year. This is the one, this one's really juicy. spice scent that doesn't go away. And if you don't like any of the others, if those are all too much and you just want a safe spice scent, Welcome Home is that. It's really nice. It's cinnamon and spices, and a lot of people say that they get a hint of almost like a berry in the background, and I would say that that's kind of true. I feel like Welcome Home is a very neutral base for then something like the Autumn Sunset that I was talking about that's like amped up with all those, plus you add the pumpkin and the cinnamon stick. So that is the spice category. Now let's turn to the bakery, and I need to kind of tidy these up here a little bit because they ended up all over the place. All right, I think that's most of them. We'll chase the rest down if I lose them. Apple Cherry Strudel. Now I have this one here as an early fall suggestion. Apple Cherry Strudel is not the strongest performer, but it is one of my favorite bars. It is so nice, and I love melting this August and September. Oh, it's got the apple, it's got the cherry, it's got that wonderful baked goods flaky pastry strudely note, and it is, oh, it's so good. And it is very early fall with the apple and the cherry. I compared this over the summer to our red, white, and berry pie, which I like, but I love this, and I find it a little bit more authentic to that pie and really baked fruit note. The cherry in it is phenomenal. Anyway, I can't say enough good about that. Baked apple pie, that comes next. Now this one is just a standard classic. And again, I feel like I am just losing testers all over here, even though I have them all in nice, neat little piles. Baked apple pie. This is really good, and this one comes in a brick. So again, if you want like just a good classic spice and fruit scent that has the bakery quality, you don't really get a lot of crust. I get more of the crusty or strudely crust note from apple cherry strudel than I do baked apple pie. But if you just want a nice, warm, gooey, cinnamony, pie-filling scent, this baked apple pie you cannot go wrong with. I would absolutely gift this. I would absolutely get the brick and use it all up. And it is a classic. It stays around all year, and there's a reason why. All right, blueberry cheesecake. Now, blueberry cheesecake is not my favorite scent, and I wonder if I sent the tester home with my mom because of that. So this one, Scentsy says, is New York cheesecake, graham cracker crust, and blueberries. And I have warmed it, and it isn't that it's a bad scent, it's just incredibly strong. And for me, I really didn't like the mixture of notes all that well. Many people adore it. I think you can get that one in a brick. And I can't say that it's bad. Everything that I don't like that's blueberry and bakery, my mother loves. So go figure. So she's enjoying hers. Actually ordered her a bar. I'll probably see it in a haul pretty soon. So that one is really rich and is definitely room filling. Cinnamon buttercream. Now cinnamon buttercream is one of those smells that I like, but it kind of underwhelmed me last year. I'm going to get another bar and try it again, and I'm definitely going to mix it because Melissa Johnson, or now Melissa Height, she says that you put cinnamon buttercream and Scary Good together and you get carrot cake. And I love carrot cake, and I have piles and piles of Scary Good, which we're going to get to in a little bit here. So I'm interested in this more as a mixer, but this is what Scentsy says about it. Italian buttercream, mascarpone, are over cinnamon cake, combining sugar, spice, and everything nice. And it is just really mellow. I mean, it's not offensive. The biggest reason I didn't get a lot of it last year was the lack of throw for me. I want something that's going to be really rich and decadent if I'm going to melt bakery. All right, the next one is going to be Clementine Cupcake, and that one, I think that tester is in the other room too. So Clementine Cupcake has been around all season for spring, summer. It was a new release this last spring, summer. It is a wonderful, bright, light vanilla or white cake with clementine and lemon in it. But it doesn't last a super long time. That is my one complaint. It is a delicious, delicious smell, and it's a really nice change from a lot of these heavier bakery scents, and I will probably order another one sometime in the middle of the fall. So that one is really, really good, but doesn't last real long. Now, the new Cran Apple Crumble. This is an interesting bar to me. I do really like it. It's a good medium to medium strong performer. It is the most interesting balance of all of the notes. So it's got that cran apple. It has a lot of fluffy whipped cream, which I think is the note that just kind of surprises me, and a good amount of brown sugar and a pinch of cinnamon. So I'm going to have to melt more and more of this to see how I like it over the long haul. In my house, I loved it in my kitchen, and I will be ordering another bar. All right. Graham Cracker Crunch. Now here's another one. People went crazy for this last fall. Absolutely flipped for this new Graham Cracker Crunch. And it's really good. But again, just like that cinnamon buttercream, for my house and my particular taste, I just found it to kind of be a womp on performance. So many people rave about it. I get bars to mix. I love mixing it with sugared strawberry. That's my favorite. And I know there will be other things that we'll do with it this fall. And sometimes in a smaller room, it'll do well enough, but it just doesn't throw that well for me. But Scentsy says that it's caramelized graham cracker, crunchy peanut butter, and vanilla bean. And absolutely, I agree with that. If you're scared of the peanut butter, it's just a hint. It's very, very nice. All right, the next one is Hug in a Mug. Now, here is one that my younger daughter loves. And this one is almost like, to me, I get a lot of cookie dough and Tootsie Roll, and that doesn't sound super appealing. I think it's the hazelnut note in it. And it makes your house smell really nice and warm and gooey. I need to just melt this all by itself again, because a lot of the bakeries that we have this year are just things that I do not love as much as what we had in the past. And that is a little bit sad to me. I mean, the bakery category is very nice, but I loved almond croissant, I loved apple butter frosting, and a few of the others that they've knocked out in the, like Stroopwafel Delight. They're all in my club, but I don't know, I feel like the bakery section's a little bit mere shadow of its former self. All right, next, and I'm just being honest, guys. Now, next is one that is a winner and is absolutely fantastic, and that is pumpkin roll. Pumpkin roll is one of those where if they get rid of this, they will have stepped over a line with me. This is such a classic fall, like November bakery good smell. So you've got the creamy pumpkin pie, the yellow cake, the pecans, the butter, and the spice. And honestly, in the past, they've talked about it being like a pumpkin sponge cake, and then you roll, and I do this, I make pumpkin rolls for my mother-in-law. You roll that wonderful cream cheese filling in, and then sometimes you sprinkle it with nuts. Oh my gosh, you get all those notes in this bar. This is a classic. It is phenomenal. So please try pumpkin roll if you want what I think is probably pumpkin bakery perfection. Okay, salted caramel toffee. Now, salted caramel toffee started out as a brick in one of our holiday brick collections like 3 years ago. And it ended up in the catalog. It is a good, solid, salted caramel scent. I prefer toffee butter crunch, but this one is really nice. This is also a good mixer. It's kind of medium to medium short longevity for me, but it's really, really just a classic, good, rich caramel toffee scent. All right, Scary Good. Now, here is the standout for me that is newer. Scary Good is scary good. It is so, so good. This is everything, oh yeah, that you want your fall bakery to be. Now, on paper, Scary Good is pumpkin puree, cinnamon, toasted butterscotch, and creamy vanilla, where your pumpkin roll is pumpkin pie, yellow cake, pecans, butter, and spice. The pumpkin roll and the Scary Good are both pumpkin bakery, but this Scary Good is spicier. And if you like the classic sweet cinnamon pumpkin from Bath & Body Works, this has a couple extra notes, but to me, it's got that same wonderful, complex pumpkin and spice profile. Oh, it's so good. And I cannot wait to try mixing this. Like I said earlier, this bar throws. This bar's got really good fall attitude, and it is fantastic. You get that little bit of butterscotch. Oh, it's amazing. Can you tell I like it? All right, the last few, we got Sugar Cookie back, which is so good. So Sugar Cookie's been available just as a brick. It'll be a bar again, August 1st, and still a brick. This is the best classic vanilla bakery I think we've ever made, and I'm so glad to see it back. It's a great mixer. It's fantastic on its own, and it is just perfect baked good vanilla. All right, then we have vanilla bean buttercream, which is nice for certain mixes. If I have to choose, I prefer a sugar cookie. Vanilla bean buttercream is more rich. It's a little deeper. So the sugar cookie's got that light, nice, almost like you hear the snap of that good sugar cookie when you're smelling it. You know how all those senses go together and you have memories. And the vanilla bean buttercream, that one is really nice to knock down some of the intense spice scents. So I would put that with cinnamon bear. I always put that with cedar cider. I put that with several of the really, really heavy fall spices. And then last but not least is one where a lot of us just kind of had a chuckle. Okay, vanilla, cinnamon, maple made it into the catalog. Another consultant that I was watching, she couldn't even remember where this thing came from at first. She's like, I know we had it, but what was it? So to me, it's like the brick that was totally forgettable. But yet, here we have it in the catalog. So it's nice. I melt it in my basement. I do like it. Like if I had to choose between cinnamon buttercream and vanilla cinnamon maple, I think the vanilla cinnamon maple is a better performer. But to me, both of them are just, they're kind of bland. They're just there. But you know, you may totally disagree with me, and I hope so, for your sake. You can tell that I'm not super happy with the bakery category, can't you? Anyway, so vanilla cinnamon maple, cinnamon stick maple, and whipped sweet cream. It is all of those things. I find it to remind me of making good old-fashioned popcorn balls at my mom's at Christmas time, and it's good. It's good. And I think maybe a larger space, it does best in my basement where it's got more space to spread out, would be good for that. Okay, now we move on to what I do think is one of Scentsi's best woods collections ever. So if I'm not as happy with the bakery, I am totally in love with the woods. So let me get all of these out here. First off, we have Around the Campfire. Now, Around the Campfire is one I love. Many people do not care for this. It came out as a new release, like 3 seasons ago, and I was very nervous that it wasn't coming back this fall because of that. Oh, is this amazing. This is so good with toasted marshmallow. This is so good with cinnamon bear. This would be so good with vanilla bean buttercream. It's smoky, sappy perfection. So, make some memories in the mountain air with notes of fresh fallen wood, smoky embers, and a lot of the descriptions in the past have talked about sweet sap, which is here. And this bar is just a make me happy bar. I have a customer named Alita. This is her favorite scent that Scentsy makes. I think it's still in her club. And it's just amazing. It is amazing. All right, the next one is Be Merry. And Be Merry is so classic Christmas. I am very, very glad, that this one did not disappear on us this year because we lost Homestead Holiday. Oh, Be Merry. It's like a Christmas shop. It's like anything where there's that perfect balance of all the smells. So Scentsy says that it's got pine boughs, holly leaf, and cassis in it. And it is, it's all of that and more. They just took the spirit of a good old-fashioned Christmas and shoved it into a bar. It's amazing. It's like a good medium performer. It's a very rich scent, and it is one that came out as a scent of the month a while ago, and I'm so glad that it's in the catalog still. Okay, Blue Sage and Tonka. Now here is a beautiful bar, especially if you're not really into woodsy, but you like a little bit of like a men's cologne. This is soft and rich. This is one of my older daughter's absolute favorites. So Scentsy says Midnight Sage, Black Lavender, and the sultry sweetness of Tonka Bean. So Tonka Bean is in Autumn Hearth, and it goes spicy, and it's here, and it goes woodsy, and it's almost got like a suede velvety note to it also. It's beautiful. All right, Cashmere and Corduroy. Now, you want to talk about a rock star for last season's catalog, fall, winter, and I wasn't really doing an official poll, but I was asking people on Instagram about several of our cozy scents. Far and away leader of the pack, Cashmere and Corduroy. Oh my goodness, y'all love this. I mean, I love it too, but wow, do y'all love this. So, this is a scent where if you just are going to try one out of the woods category, unless you are sensitive to strong smells, this is probably it. And if you are sensitive, maybe the Blue Sage and Tonka if you want to try something musky and woodsy that's not too much. So, Cashmere and Corduroy, wrap yourself up in the coziness of creamy vanilla, Sicilian bergamot, and cashmere sandalwood. This stuff in here is just incredible. I don't even know how to tell you exactly what those notes create, except it's blissful. And it lasts for forever, so this is a really good bang for your buck bar too. So good. So I didn't even bother with the tester with this. It's the best. All right, Cedar Cider. Now here is a classic, and I love it. And it is MIA. I know you're here somewhere. Oh, where's my Cedar Cider? Shoot. I really wanted to smell this one for you guys. Cedar Cider is rich. Cedar Cider is apples, and it's cedar, and it's vanilla bean, and it is the middle of fall distilled into a bar. It is resinous and rich and woodsy. Scentsy says autumn medley of the reddest apples, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans, and white cedar branches, and it is all of that. And as I say every time I talk about this bar, if you have a little bit of trouble with it being too much, put some vanilla bean buttercream with it, draws out the vanilla, knocks down sort of that woodsy smokiness. It's amazing. Now, the cedar in Cedar Cider, I think will play beautifully with the cedar that's in our new Blackberry Spice. I think those would be an absolutely amazing pairing in the house, like in September or October. All right, the next one is Falling Apples. Please don't tell me that one, oh, there's Cedar Cider. I just get worried and then I can't see what I need to see. Oh yeah, this is so good. So the Falling Apples, this one is new. This would also be really good with Cedar Cider. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so Cedar Cider is more woodsy and cedar, and the Falling Apples is more oaky and appley, but those two play beautifully together. And the Cedar Cider is really long lasting. We are finding as consultants, as we're testing out the Falling Apples, that it's really strong at first, then it kind of drops off. So those two might be good to pair together to kind of push the Falling Apples along. So take a stroll through an orchard lined with crisp apple, acorn, and oak, and I absolutely agree with all those things. It is wonderful. It's a nice, rich, good balance of woodsiness and apple. And the apple is the right kind of apple for the scent. I was worried before I smelled it that maybe the apple would be too bright and juicy, but it's not. It's perfect. All right, Huckleberry Hideaway. Now here is the odd bar of the bunch, or one of them, from our new releases. I don't find this offensive, but neither do I want to go out and get 10 of them. So I melted just 1 cube on top of the fridge the other day in my press tin warmer. This thing throws very well. So Scentsy says that it's fresh picked Huckleberry, Mountain Violet, and crisp white woods. I'm kind of thinking that this might really have its moment either late fall or after Christmas as far as melting. Like, it's good. It's just not what I want to reach for. Well, the leaves are golden and everything is crisp and beautiful. It's sort of like when the tree branches are icy and it's after Christmas and you're a little bit sad and you need a scent. This might be the perfect partner for that. Anyway, so it's good. It's just not a wow for me. Okay, Iced Pine. Now, thankfully, this is still a bestseller. I was very worried when we had this like treasure trove of pine and balsam and cedar scents last year that Iced Pine might retire, and it did not. Now, this is strong. It's uncomplicated. It is pine. It is in your face. It's got a tiny bit of peppermint in the background, but it's got really, really good pine resin in it. So if you want a clean, very, very good pine smell, this is your bar. It's really, really good. Okay, next we've got Mystery Man, and Mystery Man is complex, and it's the most cologne-y of all these wood scents. This is a very wonderful men's cologne. It is so nice. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So that one makes me very, very happy. All right, then we have Toasted Acorn and Oak. Now, this was my, oh, I'm so glad it came back moment from everything that was LTO last fall. I didn't club it just because how many bars can you club at one time? And I wasn't totally in love with a particular note that this Toasted Acorn and Oak had when it was freshly poured. But over time, my bars have cured, so I'll just warn you ahead of time. If you get one for the fall, and there's just this little bit of weirdness that you're not sure about, almost like it's too sweet, just let it chill for a while. It'll be fine. So this is what Scentsy says. Toasted acorn, creamy chestnut, and golden oak bring warmth to a crispy evening. Absolutely. This is almost like walking into a really nice cabin, and then you got all the oak leaves that you crunch through on the way to it. It is phenomenal, and it's very classy. This would be really good with the Falling Apples also because it shares some similar bottom notes. All right, Very Snowy Spruce. Now, Very Snowy Spruce, I think, is the most popular of all of our Christmas tree type smells. This one's the sweetest. This one, what does Scentsy say? They say that you've got balsam, spruce, and cedar, and pine cones. And there's like an ambery sweetness in this too, yes. And to be fair, this one does have some balsam notes. It just isn't that nice, sharp freshness that I associate with balsam. This one's more like a mixture so that it's sweet and warm, and it's really, really nice. I have like 6 of them downstairs. All right, weathered leather. Now, weathered leather, some people love this. Where are you, my not so favorite bar? Somewhere in here is my tester of weathered leather. But basically, what does it smell like? It smells like a very, very deep, heavy leather scent. And when I have warmed it, it turns sort of burning rubber or plastic on me. I'm so sorry if you happen to be a person who loves that smell. I have just not ordered it in a long time because I just never enjoy it. I've never enjoyed it. The only one my husband said, throw it away. Okay, and then white amber antique, which I know that I forgot to get the tester out of my spring summer kit to move it into here. White amber antique is one of my new loves. It is sophisticated. It is smooth. It is amber, teak, and bergamot. So I think it's best for summer, but they have put it into the fall winter catalog. I'm not complaining. I will keep melting it. It's similar to Mystery Man, but to me it's lighter and brighter. So it is just a beautiful, smooth, woody cologne scent. All right. So for now, that is part 1. And again, the highlights for me, I love maple apple bourbon, I love cashmere corduroy, I love apple cherry strudel, and then when you get into the bakery, I would really, really suggest that you try pumpkin roll as a classic if you have not, that you would try Scary Good if you like spicy pumpkin, and that you just have a really good time melting all of these, and have a great day. I will be back for part 2 in just a minute. Bye-bye.